Hey, what's going on? Thanks for joining me. I'm Mike, and I'm glad you're here. It's been a little while. We haven't really seen each other in a few weeks. You've been doing all right? I want to take a moment today to reflect. I've been on YouTube now for a year. Now, I started this channel, and by start, I mean I just created the channel a few years ago, but I never put any content up. And in early February 2018, last year, I put my first video up. Now, it's a year later, it's late February 2019, and I thought, what a good opportunity to sit and take a moment and kind of reflect on the channel, some of the things I've learned, the good, the bad, the ugly, and also talk about what do I want to do going forward. I've had a year now of doing this, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the things I'd like to try to accomplish with the channel going forward. So let's talk about it. So here's the thing. I wanted to create video for years. I've been enthralled with the concept of publishing throughout most of my life. I mean, not as a 4-year-old, obviously, but ever since I can remember in school, as a teenager, all the way through, the concept of publishing, the concept of taking thoughts and ideas and articulating them and then disseminating them, getting them out into the world, has always fascinated me. I've been enthralled with magazines and newspapers and printing technology. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school, I used to take night classes at the Rochester Institute of Technology, which is a local but nationally known technology college. And they have a printing technology program that is unparalleled. They're world renowned for that. And so I was able to take classes on that because I was so interested in the concept of publishing and the technology behind it. And yes, back in the 1980s, that was the technology. They have machines that would mash ink onto ground up trees, and then we would hold those in our hands and read them. I think you can still find these so-called newspapers and magazines in your local newsstand, bookstore / whatever these days, but hardly anybody seems to buy them. I still buy paper books, by the way. I've got a Kindle. I actually dug it out the other day. The battery's shot. I couldn't remember where it was. I found it. It's like an artifact, an ancient artifact. And I would read books on the Kindle, but I love reading a paper book. But that's besides the point. So I've always been enthralled with this idea of publishing. And as you know, technology has transformed publishing over the years. And I was like one of the first people amongst my group to get like a Mac because of desktop publishing. And I was thrilled with multimedia, and I played with podcasting, and I've just always been interested in these things. And I kind of kick myself because I'm like, why did I wait so long to create a video? Why did I wait so long to start creating this kind of content? It's so accessible, affordable, and easy to disseminate. So we can always look back and kind of kick ourselves. But that's the first thing as I look at my channel this year. Looking back, I asked myself, why did I wait so long? And I really felt that way after I got the first video out. And I'll show you a clip of the first video right here. Hey, what's going on? It's Mike Gastin here, and you have joined me for my very first YouTube video. I mean, it's nothing special. It's just me sitting in front of the camera, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better. I feel like I have a lot more to grow, but I've gotten better in front of the camera. I feel a little bit more relaxed, and it seems easier to put a video together these days. But even after doing that first video, for as stressful as it was, and I broke a sweat that day. I mean, I was done and my shirt was soaking wet, and it just kind of gross, but like the stress of being in front of that lens and talking to it was a lot. But even after getting that done, I felt like, why did I wait so long? It was exhilarating, and putting that video together, editing, it was really stressful because I didn't know the software. I'm okay with it now. I'm not a master editor, but I'm getting better. And putting it up on YouTube was just magical. And then, of course, pushing it out to friends and family, and that was a little stressful. I was like proud that I did this whole thing, but pushing it out to people was a bit of a mountain to climb. But procrastination aside, I'm really thrilled that I started the channel. I've learned a lot from it. It cost me a lot. I put together, 45, 48 videos, somewhere around there, and it's been a big commitment of time. And most of my weekends were chewed up doing recording and editing, and you just find yourself kind of going down a rabbit's hole, and the next thing you know, you've spent like 8 hours, 12 hours on a project that really should take somebody about 2 or 3, but the learning process is like that. And I love learning new things, so it's been great that way, but it did take up a lot of time. And I've learned a number of things. I've gotten, I think, better at communicating a little bit more confident. I've gotten better with my editing skills. And one of the things I did with this channel when I was starting is I said, look, I'm just going to dive in and do it. So my natural tendency, my natural inclination is to be a perfectionist. I don't like to do anything until I'm really good at it. And those of you listening to this are saying, yeah, but how do you get good at something if you don't do it? And that's exactly it. Yeah, how do you do that? And that's probably why I didn't put videos up for so long, because I have a vision. I've got to create a vision of what I'd like my videos to be like. I'm still not there, not looking at my videos going, yes, this is the realization of my vision. But I feel more happy with my videos. I'm looking, that's a decent video. I'm proud of it. And I'm not ashamed to have my name attached to it. Now, if I look back 5 years from now, I might look back and go, oh my God, that's terrible. But we'll see. Time will tell. But what I was wrestling with is this sense of perfection. And often I procrastinate or avoid doing something unless I feel like I can really do it perfectly. Stephen Pressfield talks about this in his phenomenal book, The War of Art. And I'll throw a link up. I did a quick 2-minute book review early on in my channel's history on that book, and it's really good. But I would highly recommend, if you're someone that wants to create and you struggle creating, and you feel like you procrastinate and you have all these dreams, you talk about your dreams but you never do them, you should absolutely read that book. It can be life-changing. And quite frankly, it'll probably take you a couple hours to read. It's a really thin, slim, easy-to-read volume, but it gets right at the heart, and I would highly recommend it. So my approach to this channel going from early February to today has just been, look, just get out there and create some things. Don't get too hung up on, what exactly will your content be about, what format are you going to use, don't get too hung up into that. Learn everything you can. So I've really dug into the backside of YouTube and its analytics and the algorithm as much as I can, trying to figure out that whole game. But quite frankly, I didn't put any real creative constrictions on myself other than I knew I wanted the channel to be oriented somewhere around the concept of entrepreneurship, business, human value creation, wealth creation, human fulfillment. I'm interested in how human beings find fulfillment through their work. That's really the nut of it. And that can take all kinds of different directions. I've had some videos out there about social media, like Facebook. I took a shot at them, and it was kind of a popular video for my channel. It's not popular on Casey Neistat standards, but it's popular for my channel. I've done some things on marketing and branding and so on, but the kind of nut, the core concept is human beings finding fulfillment through work and expressing their creativity and doing good things through work. So that's been the focus, but I've done a lot of different things. I've done book reviews. Hi, I'm Mike Gastin, and this is Books Under 2. I baseline a book for you in less than 2 minutes, and then I share a few thoughts. I've done vlog-style videos. What's up, guys? It's Mike, and I am out at the garden. Miss Lydia is busy messing around. It's late February, and it's in the mid-50s. I've done these talking to camera style videos. I've done commentaries. We're all aware of Cambridge Analytica and Facebook and all the hubbub that this has created over the last few weeks. I've done kind of tutorials or how-tos. I've tried to communicate concepts and ideas. Today we're going to talk about the power of the loss leader. In all these different styles of video, I've been learning and exploring. Now, what I have realized is I'm not a vlogger. When I first got into it, if you're getting into YouTube, you see all these daily vloggers, these famous people like Casey Neistat or the Peter McKinnons of the world, these different people who vlog all the time. They take you everywhere they go. They've got their camera. They use cool transitions and they tell a story while they're making it so crispy and beautiful. I just realized that's not me. I like to do that kind of content, but my heart's not in it. I don't need to show you a scene of me making my really cool latte before I sit down on the couch to have a chat with you. Now, if you want that kind of content, I respect that. I subscribe to Casey Neistat, and I subscribed to Peter McKinnon for quite a while. I don't so much anymore, but can you not so much subscribe? I don't subscribe to Peter McKinnon anymore, but that's not because I have anything against them. The content isn't for me. My point is, I watch daily vloggers. I enjoy it, but I don't want to be a daily vlogger. So I discovered that it's not my thing right now. That's not to say that in the future I won't necessarily take the camera along for some fun stuff and weave that into my content, but but probably not going to do any vlogging. But I do like this sitting in front of the camera and having a chat. I enjoy that. And I like commentary video. I enjoy looking at a situation, commentating on it, maybe providing a perspective or some insight. I enjoy that a lot. So I want to do a little bit more of that. But I think the biggest thing that I've learned this year, and this is really the kind of core of what I want to share, is the value of just putting yourself out there and doing something. You know, it was my perfectionism that held me back from starting this channel. And what I learned is, yes, it's great to have a vision. It's great to want perfection. I think that's how the great designers, I think that's how the great architects and the people that really accomplish things that we look at and all appreciate, the things that outlast time or outlast their own lives and stand the test of time, I should say. I think that desire for perfection, that drive for greatness is important to accomplish that. But you can't let that stand in the way of starting. The only way that you can ever become great, the only way that you can create great content, that you can perfect your art, your craft, whatever it is you or I are doing, is to overcome that desire to be perfect and just put yourself out there. You have to do and do and do and do. And so I really benefited from just putting myself out there and starting to ship. And each time I put a video out, I felt on some level, now you as a viewer might not see it, but for me on some level, there was an improvement, whether it was the audio quality or the framing of the shot or my editing or even just my performance in front of the lens got better and better. And so the big lesson for me is to accomplish your creative vision, to accomplish the thing that I want. And I still haven't accomplished it yet, but I've gotten closer to it. To do that, I have to start. I have to be willing to put myself out there, not to keep it private, not to keep it hidden, not to say, well, I'm going to work in obscurity until I think it's perfect, and then I'll show it to the world, but show it to the world. And I was surprised by something. I think as a kid, and I don't know, I've never talked to a counselor about this or anything really. I've never really gone to counseling. I probably... A number of you that know me think I probably should go to counseling, but I've never gone to counseling. But I think that some of my hang-ups about perfection come from my childhood. I don't know why, but I never as a kid wanted to be teased, mocked, made fun of. You know, I never wanted to feel like I was less than. And, you know, I think you get into a bunch of reasons why that is. But the fact of the matter is I was always fearful of criticism. I was always fearful of looking stupid. I think that's really, I just never wanted to look stupid. And as an adult, I don't either. And I think most of us, almost all of us, don't want to feel stupid. And here's the amazing thing that I found putting my work out there, that all of you people, you wonderful people out there, were so encouraging, so positive, so uplifting for my efforts. You're like, hey, that's a really great job. That's a great video. And it didn't seem like it's just my mom telling me that, oh, there, Mike, that's a lovely drawing of a birdie that you just did. You know, some little boy with a crayon scribbling. It really was positive encouragement. It was like, hey, I really appreciate what you did. I thought that was a good video. That was really nice. I got something out of it. The positive feedback and encouragement that I received back, when I look at the work and I go, ugh, I cringe at my work. I go, this is just, I look stupid and I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about or whatever. But to have people say, no, I really appreciated this. This meant something to me was overwhelming and it just kind of changed my perspective. And what I realized is we're all in this together. Every person doesn't want to feel stupid and every person wants to do something meaningful. And so I think we typically tend to respect somebody when they're trying. And I think that's what I was getting. People looked and said, this guy's trying. He's putting himself out there. He's trying to share something, create some content of value. And people tend to recognize, they respond positively to that. So I want to say thank you. It really helped make the year what it was, and it helped encourage me to continue to try to do better. So that was the year, and I think it was a fantastic year. A lot that I could do better, but I'm not ashamed of this year. I think if I look at the body of content, I'm proud of how much I created. I'm proud of the quality of the content. I had some great wins. I've got a video that I don't know why does so well. It's on the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. And there's some interesting dynamics there. For some reason, this video, it's really about the idea that baby boomers are aging out and they're wanting to sell their businesses. They need to find people to buy their businesses. And this is where a great chunk of wealth, like $20 billion worth of wealth estimated, is locked up. And so for people that are younger than baby boomers, there's an opportunity for you to acquire their asset, their wealth generating asset, because they're looking for people to come take their business and to come buy it, obviously. Somehow that video got connected to a strange kind of subgenre of videos that I wasn't really aware of, but it's all about this wealth transfer. There's these secret stashes of wealth throughout the world, and these secret cabals have all this money, and somehow, and there's kind of a spiritual aspect to this, but somehow God is going to do something, and that wealth of the wicked are going to go to the righteous, and so my video, because of the title, is attached to that genre. And so if somebody's watching that subgenre, we'll call it, of content, my video ranks very high for suggested. And so I get a ton of content, and I've picked up a number of subscribers. So people watching this, thank you for joining. And but it's interesting to me because my video has nothing to do with that, but somehow it's been pretty popular. And so I've had some hits, I've had some misses. So I did a series of interviews with my friend Chad Rifflin. And Chad, thank you so much. That was really an enjoyable experience. I'd never set up an interview before, but you can check him out. I'll link up here. And Chad's an expert on consumer and business credit and debt. And so we did this series on how to handle credit. I think there were 4 or 5 videos. I was able to ask Chad some questions. He had some fantastic insights. If you have credit card debt, if you have credit score issues, if you're trying to build credit, you want to buy a business, you need credit, you should really check those videos out. But as far as YouTube is concerned, they were not that popular. Those videos didn't do well. And I really take responsibility for that. I think Chad provided fantastic content and expertise. I thought we had a good on-camera, presence together. I think we had good chemistry. But my skills as a videographer really fell short. I didn't really know how to set up a good 2-person shot. You'll see that. I tried to get 2 cameras going. I think my editing suffered, and I think the thumbnails needed a little bit of love. So I feel like I let us down, but there was a great learning experience. It was really positive. I enjoyed doing an interview, and I want to do a lot more of those going forward. But that series didn't seem to take off. And I think the real reason is just that as a creator and as an editor, I fell a little short. My skills weren't up to snuff to really make that thing sing. So there's an experience that was maybe negative in that the publishing didn't really take off the way I was hoping, but the creation process was fantastic. I mean, I really enjoyed it. We sat down, we knocked out a handful of videos in an hour or 2 together, and then I just edited afterwards, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed the chemistry. So Chad, thanks for being a part of that. But and I apologize that my chops were not up to the task, but it was still a lot of fun and a good experience. So what do I want to do going forward? I've learned a lot. I've tried different formats. I've overcome my worry about being perfect, and I'm seeing myself grow as a creator. What do I want to do with this channel going forward? Well, there's some things I want to continue doing. I like taking a moment and talking in front of the camera like this. I know nobody wants to sit for 20 minutes and listen to me ramble, but I want to do commentary. I still enjoy finding current topics and having a comment, an insight, or a perspective on those. So I'm going to continue to do that. And those will be things like branding, marketing, business, human flourishing. I'm going to avoid, although I love talking about things like politics and all that jazz, that's really not what this channel is about. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little bit of deeper thinking around business strategy and some of that, so I'll create those kinds of videos too. I want to do something new, though, with this channel, and this is what I want to share with you, and I'd love your feedback. If you're still watching, I'd love your feedback. I would love to do some more video around storytelling, and there's a story that I want to tell, and I think this story can be told in multiple ways through multiple different stories, if you will. But I want to tell the story of human creativity and of human work. And I want to talk about the power of human work. And there's so much that ties into that. Free markets and entrepreneurialism, creativity, and teams of people coming together to do something that one person can't do necessarily on their own. I feel like in our society, at least in America, the concept of business is taking a bit of a hit. It's lost a little bit of its shine, and rightly so in some cases. There are some big corporations that are manipulative and domineering, and they abuse their ability and their power and their position. And we as human beings get the short end of the stick. And I'm not all business rah, 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 but there's an untold underappreciated aspect of business that I think that we're missing out on. And that's really this ability for businesses to create wealth for human beings, to create opportunity for people to dig in, to do work that they can be proud of, to transform their communities, to feed families, to put children through school, to enrich a region or a nation or a society. It's just so interesting to me, and I think it's an important story. I think it's a story that's getting lost. And to touch on politics, there's a little bit right now picking up steam around socialism and big government, and people are angry and they're dispossessed and they feel like they're disenfranchised and they're upset and they're looking for someone to blame. And it's easy to point a finger at this abstract concept. Well, it's businesses. It's these fat cat business owners. And quite frankly, I've worked with business owners my whole career, and I just don't know these people. Yes, I've met some jerks. I absolutely have met some jerks, but they are in the minority. The majority of people that I've worked with that have been business owners have been fantastic people with deep values and people that are ethical and care about their employees, care about their community, care about their reputation. These are people that are committed to doing good work. It's not all about the business owner. It's the business owner, it's the employees, it's the customers, it's the whole ball of wax. But I want to take some time on this channel and tell those stories more. Now, whether that is going to end up being more documentary style, more video essay style, more interview style, I'm not sure yet. I want to keep that creative door open. I want to throw myself into some scary, stressful situations. And what I mean by this, scary for me, inviting a business owner to do an interview with me, it's intimidating, but I want to push myself. So in this year, I'm committing to getting some of that kind of content out. I want to start with that. And I'm hoping that you'll find that content interesting. There's so many fantastic stories to tell out there, and there's this meta story about people doing good work and people creating wealth, creating value, and lifting up their communities, their societies, and the quality of life for individuals across our great nation. So that's something that I want to do in 2019, and I hope you'll stick around. I'm glad for your time. I'm glad for your subscriptions, everybody that spends time, subscribe, watching videos, people that comment, even if you're not subscribed, even the mean comments. And somebody today said something to the effect of, "Where do you get off spouting such unsubstantiated bull?" And that just, it almost makes me laugh, but I'm just grateful for the interactions. I'm like, hey, good for you. You took the time to comment. At least I got to respect that and give you a shot back. But I'm really grateful for this little community. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video.